How close do we need to hold the mics?
It's like chin.
Okay.
Yeah. Inch below, 2 inches below.
Talking to the mics when you talk. Okay.
Yeah, definitely talking. All right, we are now joined by the Battlefield Bobcats varsity head sorry, let me start that. We are now joined by the Battlefield Bobcats varsity boys basketball team. Coach, would you mind introducing yourself and the players to your left and right?
Yeah, Coach RJ DeAndre. I've got senior captain right here, Luke Shingler, junior captain Cooper Cramp on my right.
Awesome, Coach. Appreciate you taking the time here, and players as well. We greatly appreciate you having us here joining us on the experience. You played high school basketball here in Westfield, just here in Fairfax County, and now you are coaching at Battlefield. Did you always know you wanted to coach at some point?
Yeah, so I'm a little bit of a unique situation. So my grandfather coached high school his whole life in PA. My dad coached me growing up through travel into high school. Had a lot of family issues and life circumstances pop up in high school. And, you know, if I had somebody like me growing up and that opportunity to kind of show me what is what, teach me how to value and prioritize my humanity in life, you know, it would have helped me a lot. And so it's just, I kind of think of it as like a badge of honor to be able to come back here and just be that voice or be that person for these guys, like the next generation, just be there through them. I mean, it's the ball stops bouncing for all of us. So just developing that humanity and developing that next level personability, I think it'll carry them a lot further than basketball can.
Yeah, of course. And the season's young, but, you know, the off-season workouts start, you know, well before November. What's it just been like being a coach so far?
No, I mean, it's been great. I think we've just been keeping our head down and working. I mean, since the second we got hired, we've been in the gym every single minute that we're allowed to work out. I mean, we're working out. This was the first off season that we were in the weight room intensely. This was the first off season that I think, you know, and these guys will be able to speak to that a little bit. I mean, we want the work to speak for ourselves. But at the end of the day, like, we're inexperienced to an extent. We've lost a lot of minutes from last year. So not only do we have to learn how the grind works at a high level, we got to learn how to win too. And that just takes time. But we've been talking about it for the last 6 months. We are not a results-oriented program. Wins and losses for us don't matter in December. We're really just trying to play and become a team that's capable of year in and year out competing for districts, regionals, and state titles.
Coach Dwight Vick again, Victory Life. This is my second time getting a chance to speak with you. I watched your game last night against Madison on the NFHS app, and I was watching it, and you guys were playing hard. It was a back-and-forth game. They would pull ahead by 10. All of a sudden, you guys were going to run, hit a three, get a steal. You cut it to 5 or 6 points 4 times, I believe. When you talk about this young season, and players, you can chime in as well, what have you learned so far? I know it's a long season. We're going to go all the way into next year, January, February. What have you learned so far about the team?
I think you can see it in both games that we've had so far. I mean, even a very, very good Colonial Forge team in that first game, I mean, it was a 4-point game with 4 minutes left. And so one of the things that we're seeing is early on, we're getting good shots, we're running offense well, but we're a little tight right now. We're inexperienced. We come out, the rim gets a little smaller. I think we've gotten outscored in the first quarter by double digits both games, and it's just second and third quarter having to come back. But it's the discipline stuff that you see with inexperienced teams. So you cut those leads to 4, you cut those leads to 5, but can you continue to box out consistently? Can you continue to see man and ball? Can you continue to stop jumping cuts, jumping balls, stop the 45 cuts? And you saw it last night. Every time we went on a run, every time we cut it, it was just little undisciplined things that put us out of position and gave them an opportunity to jump back up on us. And so, like, the first 2 games, I mean, you're just seeing us slowly put it together and put it together. I mean, once we put 3-4 quarters together, I think we're going to surprise some people and be a really, really good basketball team. But again, it's just the process for us. We got to figure out how to do it from start to finish.
Do you want to chime in on that?
Like he was saying, the good spurts are there. Like, you can really see the potential of what this team is able to do. It's just that since we're a young team, since it's really early in the season, we still have to focus on how to stay disciplined and watch those cuts, you know, watch your man on defense, watch off ball. Like, you have to be able to see everything. You have to stay disciplined while you're going on those spurts so that you don't let the team pull away again. And that's something that we're trying to do as the season.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, this year is a very intriguing year for the Cedar Run District. You have several new coaches. Osborne Park has a new coach. Osborne has Coach Lacey, who comes from Richard Bland. Battlefield has you, and UNE Reed has a new coach, and I may be forgetting somebody. And you have Independence, which swapped with Freedom South Riding. So this is kind of the season of change and new. What isn't new at Battlefield is the championship expectations. You know, you replaced Randy Bills, a legendary coach who took them to a state championship game appearance. They had those great battles with Patriot, and you also have Gainesville now in the district, a new school. It's been around for about 4 years, and they've had some battles with Battlefield. How do you guys, and this is for the coaches and the players, how do you make your mark? I know you're going to get your expectations instilled with these guys, but how does Battlefield stay atop of that district, which really is, you know, a lot of new teams with coaches? How do you get into that? We're going to be here at the end of the day as well.
I think for us, we just keep our head down and work. We really aren't concerning ourselves with any of the teams in our district. It's not a shot at anybody in our district. I think it would just do a disservice to our process if we're not focused on what we need to do at all times. I mean, you and I have talked about it in the past. Sherman has set the mark for what this district needs to be. I think schools have made some really good hires, guys that are coming in that are just nothing but passionate and committed to turning around programs. And so, like I said, like we talked about a couple weeks ago, Sherman set the bar in this district, and it's on all of us to put our heads down and match that level of work ethic, because those Patriot kids, I mean, they work hard. And that's all this is at the end of the day. And so I think you're going to start to see teams in this district match that work ethic in the offseason. They're going to match that work ethic in the fall. And hopefully this district is ultra competitive, and it gives us a chance to really get to VCU. Any of us in the district get to VCU and compete with those Southern teams, those teams that are used to that kind of level of physicality throughout the entire season rather than just a month spurt at the beginning or a month spurt at the end.
I would say something that's going to keep us up there is our culture. We've definitely built a new culture this year. In past years, we would get down, we would yell at our teammates, like we wouldn't play together. But I'd say this year, we believe in each other, we stay positive, and we just never give up. So I think that's what's going to help us get to the top of our district.
I like that you brought up culture. To kind of go off of that, I can kind of tell Coach brings the energy. For the players, what's it been like under the new coach and, you know, his culture and his program and how he runs things? What's it been like, you know, playing under him?
I mean, Coop already said it. We're here for each other now. I think that in past years, like he also said, we've kind of gotten frustrated with each other, and we haven't really been able to pull ourselves together, make sure that we're still having a good team morale. And one of the things that Coach RJ has really pushed for us to do for this year is making sure that we're here for each other, like no matter what the situation is. Whenever we're struggling, whenever things are going well for us, we have to make sure that we're still together as a team, and we can't just rely on the coaches to keep our morale up. We have to be able to do that for each other as well.
I would just say he's very determined. He's up till 2 a.m. watching film for us. He's whatever he needs to do to make us the better team. I would say if we need an energy boost, we can all rely on him. He is very energetic. He gives us that boost we need to go on the runs. And I think that's what's going to help us get over some of our humps in some of our games.
Yeah, now let me just say something. Like it speaks volumes to the players that we have. Like, it's really hard to come in as a new coach and try to introduce a really a 180 from what they're used to, from a work ethic expectation and from an accountability expectation. None of this would have been possible without these guys buying in. Like, they can say anything they want about me. It doesn't happen unless the players actually buy in. And we've gotten 100% buy-in from the majority of this varsity team. And I think that's, you know, what's going to propel us as the players. I can bring as much energy as I want and drink as much caffeine as I want, but at the end of the day, they're the ones that are going out and doing the hard stuff. They're the ones that are going out and, I mean, their job is going to be a lot harder than mine every single night. And, you know, I can't thank them enough, and I appreciate the world out of all of them, especially this one on my left here, senior captain who, you know, from day one has just been locked in helping us build this.
Yeah, absolutely. And for the captains, what's it kind of been like just stepping into that captain role and, you know, knowing like your voice, you know, might carry a little bit of leverage and the younger guys are looking up to you as captains. Can you just speak about what it's been like embracing that role and how it's, you know, maybe changed you or not changed you at all as a person on the court, but also off the court?
So it's definitely been very different because in the past years, you know, my voice hasn't really been as loud, I won't say as important, but just like I wouldn't say it's been as heard in the past years. And so it really has been just a 180 shift. Like it's been completely different. But one of the things that's made this a lot easier for me is all the support that I've had from my teammates and my coaches. Like I get a lot of feedback about how I'm doing. I get, you know, constructive criticism. And so I really just have a lot of support around me while I'm trying to support my own teammates. We're all here for each other, and that's really the main part of this new culture that we've been trying to build.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, please.
Yeah, I'll just say the voice is heard. Everybody listens. Everybody, not even just the captains, everybody's voice. Everybody talks during workouts, games. Everybody listens, and everybody buys in. Like, there's nobody that's out not doing whatever they need to do. Everybody's bought in, and that's really what makes up our culture, to be honest. So I would just say the buy-in is what's really good.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by the buy-in, or I'm not surprised by Coach RJ's energy. I mean, I knew of him before I met him. He's a trainer with Chauncey, and you got to have energy. I mean, all those college and NBA prospects running around that gym, he had to be energetic. And speaking of that, man, how do you transition? Because there's a difference between the cones and the drills and the 3-on-3 and then now you have to create a culture and get them to have a program. You're building a program versus you have 3 or 4 training sessions on Saturday. Coach, how do you do that? Because everyone can't do that. Some guys are just trainers and some guys are coaches. It's a difference.
Yeah, and I think the advantage for me is, I mean, I've been coaching travel AAU since I was 16 years old. I was an accident, to be honest with you, for college credits. But I'm more of a coach than a trainer anyway. I always have been. And so, like, I'm, we talked about it. We go back to that Battlefield team that went to states, Hassan Hamad and some of those boys. I coached all of them growing up. We've got a bunch of kids in the district all throughout, Patriot, Gainesville, Battlefield, that we've coached growing up. Had a lot of experience just coaching on the Adidas circuit. So I think the good thing from the training aspect is you get to work with high-level people. You get to meet high-level people, create relationships. And so you kind of get a vision of like what these kids at Battlefield need to check off to get to where they want to go if college is something. So I think the training world has just kind of opened my ability to leverage relationships and figure out development plans to get these kids on a path, whether that's D3, D2, D1, JUCO, preferably right now. But whatever it may be, I think that it's had its advantages. The team building stuff is what I love. So honestly, to step into the coaching realm and get out of the training realm has been a blessing. I mean, this is my passion more so than just the cone stuff.
Absolutely. And you talk about, Battlefield and all the kids you guys have. As a coach, I've often felt the life lessons are what keep you atop of your craft, right? The life lessons, not just your personal ones. You talk about some of the stuff you experienced in your childhood, but even, from a tough loss or an amazing win, a comeback win. But there's always, you have the therapist that has to see a therapist. Who is the coach you model your coaching style after? Who do you talk to for consultation, like how Luke Skywalker would go see Yoda? You know what I mean? Like, who's your Yoda?
So it's funny. So, like, 2 different answers to that. So who do I emulate my persona after, who I try to be? I mean, you guys have all talked about it. I'm a very high energy person, and I realize that in games, I do all my energy and all my coaching before games. When I'm in a game, I have to be the calmest voice in the room, especially with a team of our caliber right now. Brad Stevens has been my idol since he was at Butler. One of the best X's and O's coaches of all time. I really try to emulate his demeanor at all times, just because, again, that calming presence is how you win at a high level. The players already know how to play at that level. They don't need the rah-rah energy. They need somebody that can just help everybody take a deep breath, lead them to that next step. And then as that, like, counseling, honestly, I lean a lot on Mike Desmond and Sherman. Both of them have been huge helps to me. I literally was on the phone with both of them yesterday. Des called me right after our game, gave me some words of encouragement, some advice, held me accountable for a mistake I made during the game, which is what I need and what I seek out. So to answer that question right now, it's definitely Mike Desmond and Sherman Rivers. I mean, they've been huge helps to me, just trying to understand and grow and walk down my own path. But just to have that kind of experience, it's been a blessing. I can't thank those 2 enough.
Yeah, shout out to Mike Desmond and Sherman Rivers, man. Mike Desmond is a funny guy. I can't never tell if he's serious or if he's sarcastic.
He is an incredible basketball coach and a very funny human being. On and off the court. Yeah, he's an amazing coach, and Sherm too. So yeah, like, they're both great people, and I think that's kind of what we're trying to build with our culture is, like, the ball stops bouncing. Our humanity will always define who we are as people, and those are 2 great people. And so just can't be great without the greatness of others, and I appreciate those 2 a ton.
Absolutely.
Well, Coach, players, we appreciate your time today and joining us on the NSMT experience. Best of luck this season, and hopefully catch a few of you guys' games. But seriously, we greatly appreciate it, and yeah, that's all we have.
I can't thank you guys enough. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.